過ぎた季節が嘘だとしても重ねたぬくもりは嘘じゃない君が残した背中の傷跡は今もずっと甘くてだからずっと痛くて
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another chapter of Fate's Unlimited DxD. In the last chapter, Shirou finally got the information on why Rias was so insistent on him joining her peerage, and also, well, she trying to offer her virginity to our nameless heroic spirits, with her being in an arranged marriage with a bastard by the name of Riser Phoenix, with soon Shirou not wanting Rias to be, tied to her fate of being married to a prick like him, decided to help her and her peerage become stronger by training them for the next 10 days. With that, soon Shirou also bringing Raynare to help out as well, with their training about to begin. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 7, Boot Camp Training with Shirou. As 2 days have now passed since Rias and her peerage alongside Shirou and Raynare began training for the raiding game against Riser and his peerage. As back at Kuo, things, have become a little bit quiet, but not too quiet. Without Issei there, the perverted trio, now just the perverted duo, still keep getting their asses kicked by the Kendo Club and disgusted by every other girl and guy at Kuo. And also, the student council continues doing their thing as well. However, Saji is still pretty saddened as that Shirou is now gone, helping now that his workload has basically went back to being that of, hell back again. However, with the other girl, with that of Sona, Tsubaki, and Momo, they're kind of worried for Shirou. Not most, given that Sona cares deeply about Shirou. She just wants to know what is he doing to help Rias become stronger. With Rias and her peerage, with Issei, he's basically fighting against Raynare as she deals tons of spear jabs to Issei, as he's barely able to dodge each and every strike, as each strike almost seemed that of close calls, with then bringing out his boosted gear dormant twice critical form, with then blocking the one spear strike before being kicked in the guts by Raynare, sent flying backwards as he rolls on the ground, with then Issei panting hard, trying to catch his breath after a blow like that, with Soon saying, "Why do I have to keep getting my ass kicked by her?" With Soon. As for Raynare, she doesn't really answer as she flies back to Issei, with then Issei preparing to hit her again with his red gauntlet. However, he gets somewhat distracted a little bit for a split second before she not using her light spear. She does a roundhouse kick to his face, with then soon Issei actually spitting up a little bit of blood, and also having that of a broken nose as well, sent flying into the air while spinning. With soon, Raynare couldn't help but sigh, saying, I'm actually enjoying kicking his ass, but to be honest, it's also kind of sad as well, given how pathetic he is. But even so, it's actually quite fun, as Raynare basically flies back to Issei. As for the rest, Shirou is sparring with Kiba, with him using that of Bakuya and Kenshiro, with then Kiba using one of his created swords from Sword Birth, with the two continue clashing blades. However, Shirou's barely even trying, where Kiba's trying his best to strike at Shirou with each strike. However, he's doing that of quick hit and run attacks using his knight speed, which is good, but it's only good for first encounters. As for Shirou, he's figured out, well, Kiba's fighting style and techniques, which there are barely even any techniques he has, as she's just doing hit and run attacks with powerful strikes and aiming for joints in for his opponent, which is good, but it makes him predictable, even with an immense speed such as Kiba's. As for everyone else, well, for Rias and Konako are actually, well, training with each other, with helping Rias develop her fighting style, with Rias trying to punch Konako, with also trying to kick her as well. However, Konako is able to block each attack before grabbing her fist and then flipping her over. With that, Rias was really caught off guard by that, saying, "That just happened, did it?" With soon Konako not even answering, but her eyes say it all, basically saying, "Yep, yes it did." With soon, but then the final clash between Shirou and Kiba finally comes to an end, with the sword that Kiba had in his hands flying into the air, before Shirou basically pointing both his blades at Kiba's neck, saying, "That's enough, Yuto. We're done." With soon Kiba basically going down on his knees, saying, "I don't understand. We've been training for the past 2 days, and yet I still can't. Don't beat yourself up. Even Konako can overcome my strength as well. However, you're too predictable. You focus too much on hit and run attacks and trying to aim for my joints and weaknesses. Good for a first impression when dealing with an enemy that doesn't know what you're able to do. However, face against an enemy that knows you too well, or face against an enemy that saw your first fight, they'll able to predict your movements and counter you without even trying, such as I." With soon Shirou saying, "But don't be too sad about it. I'll help you develop. You're going to need to learn how to develop a technique and other ways to fight against your opponents. Develop a different type of fighting style, or better yet, use a different technique. Like when you're in a deadlock clash between another swordsman or a knight, focus on a technique where you can counter them and strike when they least expect it. Like drop your blade before creating 2 other demonic swords, or rather drop your sword and then ram into them with your knight speed before dealing a final blow with your blade." But then Kiba saying, "But that seems unhonorably. It's not way of a knight," saying, Kiba, this isn't. You're going to be fighting against more opponents. The opponents that you fought against were nothing but low-ranking stray devils. If you face against somebody on a higher rank, say another high-class devil, or somebody like on Raynare's level or my level, then the idea of chivalry and knightlyhood isn't going to save you in battle. So you need to learn different ways to counter your opponents. Is that understood?" With soon Kiba saying, "I get it. Thank you, Emiya-san," saying, "It's all right. It's anytime, Kiba." With soon looking back at, well, somebody grunting in pain, as it being Rias getting knocked on her butt on her perfect ass once again. With soon saying, "So, still not doing so well in hand-to-hand combat yet, is that, Rias?" With saying, "Why should I? I should be focusing on you. I don't think you need to focus on using your magic just yet until you're able to handle yourself in close quarters combat. I can tell your type, Rias. You're the kind of girl that focuses more and more on using your magic to its qualities until the point on where you burn yourself out. Facing against somebody like Riser, who have told has that of regeneration properties, will be your biggest matchup, even with your power of destruction. You would need to hit him with an attack to the point of atomizing him. And if I last check, even with your devil race, and you still don't have that of high mana stores. Am I right? With then soon Ria's looking to the side in that of embarrassment and acknowledgement that Shirou has a point. With Shirou sighing, saying, well, that's to be expected. Also, Konako looks at Shirou saying, yes, senpai? Saying, I'm going to need to see your techniques even more. Even though you're helping out Rias with her hand-to-hand combat training until I see that she's ready to focus on her magic, I'll be helping you out later on. Is that understood? So be prepared. With soon Konako saying, yes, senpai, I'll be ready. As with soon, he looks over saying, and Akano, senpai, isn't she? I told her to help out while Asuya opened more of her magic circuits to allow her to use Magecraft. Within the house with, Akano and Asuya, Asuya is trying her best to open up her magic circuits with the help of Akano as well, as Akano placing her hands over Asuya's back as she's completely shirtless, however still having her bra on even though it's unclipped. With soon Akano saying, I never thought allowing a person to awaken mana through this way is quite something. I wonder where Shirou learned this, to be honest. But to be fair, given that the only reason that Asuya's magic levels are not as high as they are is because she relied so much on her Twilight healing, which doesn't use too much mana to heal. However, whatever the spell that, or whatever magecraft that Shirou wants Asuya to learn, he wants me to at least awaken as many magic circuits within her as much as I can. And then after that, he told me to work on my own stuff with him. With soon Akano eternally thinking, I don't know why he brought that fallen angel with him. I don't care if she's some kind of gift or pardon from Azazel. I still don't trust her. And if she's manipulating Shirou, then, I'll figure something out to help him out. Then soon, Akano her hands stopped glowing, saying, all right, Asuya-chan, you're good to go. Saying, thank you, Akano-senpai. Soon, saying, no problems. Now, you should probably go and see Shirou-kun and see if he can help you out now. Saying, okay, what about you? I'll just stay here for a little bit. He said I should prepare for our training later on. Saying, I see. Then soon somebody comes in through the door, as it being Raynare, dragging Issei's basically bruised and battered body, as soon she basically drops him on the ground, saying, before you go and see, Master Shirou, you should probably heal this idiot. He still needs to finish his training. With soon Asuya saying, oh, Issei-kun! With soon Akano saying, did you really need to go all out on him? With soon saying, that's what Master Shirou wants. You can tell that he's the weakest out of all of you, and Shirou, alongside your master, your king, basically says that he has a strong sacred gear. If she says that this thing is in its dormant state, I need to figure out some way to help him. Also, the main reason on why my master wants me to help him out is to help him get over his fascination over ogling girls. Last time I checked, doesn't that riser bastard have an entire peerage full of females? And isn't this the most infamous pervert at your school? With then both, one fallen angel and one half fallen angel looks at the brunette pervert, saying, you have a point. Saying, exactly. Well, any rate, is he done? Asya with soon saying, yeah, I finished healing Issei-kun. With saying, I'm good now. As she soon grabs the collar of his neck once again, saying, oh no. With saying, we still need to continue, Issei. With saying, please, somebody help me! As Issei continues screaming as Raynare drags him off. As for Akino, personally, she is worried for Issei, but the sadist in her basically wants to just, enjoy hearing Issei screams. As within a couple hours later, soon, Shirou helps out Rias with her hand-to-hand combat, as basically giving her a little bit of tips on on certain strikes, defending herself, and also being able to get out of grapples as well. With Rias at first not really too good at getting everything down at first. With that, however, with then also Konako helping out as well, being that of a demonstration, Rias was able to get at least a little bit of her hand-to-hand combat techniques out of the way, which now makes her at least a little bit easier and now able to figure out on how to improve her magic. With soon, as for Issei, once again, he's still getting his ass kicked and still hasn't improved one bit. As he's not ogling, Raynare's chest and ass and legs as much as he did before for the past 2 days, he's still not really good at combat whatsoever. Not one bit. As it also doesn't help that he's not really good at using magic either. And again, his sacred gear still being dormant. So no matter what happens, he still is basically behind everyone. As for Kiba, he begins developing certain counter techniques, ways to use his swordsmanship and different moves to get the upper hand on his opponents from his typical hit and run tactics, and also developing new swords to help such tactics as well. Part of him seems like he's basically, betraying the ways of the knights which he follows, but realizing that this is for Rias' sake, he needs to put that aside for the time being at least. As next up, Shirou begins teaching that of magecraft for Asya, as he only wants to teach her at least one magecraft spell, and that being, enhancement. The same magecraft that his father taught him when he first began learning how to become a mage. As he just wants her to use this magecraft as a way to defend herself, given that she is the peerage's bishop and healer. Keeping her safe is just as important as keeping Rias safe, because without her, they won't be able to heal their wounds. And given that, Raynare did say that the Phoenixes creates that of, Phoenix Tears, which is basically a healing item for the devils. she's going to be the most important out of everyone in the rating game. So giving her a technique that will basically improve her defenses and last longer in the rating game, it's basically perfect for her. And also, and given that she's not a fighter, it's also it's also perfect for her as well. As for Shirou's training of Akeno, he wanted to see on her techniques on how to use her lightning magic. As well, each time that she strikes Shirou with her lightning, it always is either deflected, dodged, or just reflected right back at her. As Shirou wants to know if she can increase her lightning abilities to the point that she can use it more as a close quarters attack or that of a burst attack, allowing to shoot at least a wave of electric energy at her foes, paralyzing them temporarily before striking them again. Akeno was caught off guard by the suggestion, but decides to take it. However, on one of the days, as they begin training, Shirou wants to know the truth on why Akeno holds herself back. Within, she looks at the white-haired heroic spirit, saying, "What makes you think I'm holding myself back?" Within, Shirou saying, "Because I'm holding myself back. I'm basically using at least 10% of my true strength, helping each and every one of you improve." Within, Akeno's eyes widen, hearing that, saying, basically shows that Shirou is not even showing his true strength, trying to help them become stronger. With Sood, she's saying, it's not important. Within, seeing as she turns her head, within Shirou seeing a glimpse of the masks that she always wears, cracking at least a little bit, saying, "So it's true. You do wear nothing but a mask all the time." I guess I'm not surprised. Then, soon, Akeno saying, "What the hell is that supposed to mean?" With saying, "It means you're basically suppressing your true self and your true power, and not just people around you, but also Rias as well. Rias knows who I am, and Rias knows on what I've gone through. You don't, Shirou." Saying, "You're right, I don't. Care to ask? And if you talk to me, maybe I could figure out a way to help." Saying, "That's nice of you to say, Shirou-kun, but just talking about it doesn't always help." "You don't know it unless you try, senpai." Then she's saying, "Look, I'll take your advice, but as for my past, and as for anything else you want, it's not, just leave it be." Saying, so instead of trying to improve yourself and try to use everything you have against Riser, you rather have Rias basically married off to that bastard instead of opening up to people around you and using your true strength to help her. I would call that the biggest hypocritical state of anyone I've ever seen. And I have met my fair share of goddamn hypocrites." Soon, Akeno basically flinching at the hearing the name of God, saying, "Oh, sorry about that." Then Shirou activating his projection magic, soon creating a staff, as he's soon saying, "Here, catch." Then Akeno looking back as she soon catches a staff, as it being a teal silver staff with the circle, and inside the circle looking like that of a crescent moon, saying that staff is a copy of the staff of Hecate, made by Medea, the Greek witch of betrayal. Just letting you know, that staff will improve your magical power, and since I'm giving it to you, use it to improve yourself. If you don't want to use your full strength, your full power, so be it. But I won't let you suppressing yourself hold back Rias in this rating game or anyone else. Is that understood? With then, Akano was completely caught off guard by Shirou basically scolding her while still helping her at the same time, as he soon walks off, with then soon Akano holding the staff that was given to her by Shirou, saying, "He's cold, he's scary, and yet he's still kind and caring. Shirou, who are you really? And also, thank you. Thank you for at least trying, but I think I need time. Time before I tell anyone, even you, what I truly am." With then, soon, as Shirou continues walking, he soon walks past Raynare saying, "So, you heard all of that?" Saying, "Yep, and personally, I told you." Saying, "Yeah, you're right." Still, surprised. I'm not 100% surprised about, well, Akano being half fallen angel. But what I really want to know is, why is she suppressing that part of her? With then Raynare saying, "Beats me. Remember, I was a grunt. I don't know everything about Kogori except rumors and that of gossip. So, to be honest, whatever the reason why she's suppressing herself, and whoever her fallen angel parent was, either be it her mommy or her daddy, must have been a bastard for her to suppress her that much of her power. Because whoever her parent is, her magic power, especially her lightning, is scary as hell." Saying, "Lightning, huh? Isn't one of your superiors skilled in holy lightning magic?" Saying, "Yeah, old Barakil-sama. He's one of the strongest cadre in Kogori. I believe he's second to Lord Azazel." With soon saying, Barakil. With Shirou getting an idea, saying, "Anyway, besides that, why aren't you training Issei?" Saying, "Yeah, that brat isn't improving no matter how many times I give him openings. And yes, I am holding back, but every time he barely knows how to throw a punch. He can't kick for shit. His magical power is literal trash, and he doesn't know, and he has no spatial awareness to save him. As a devil, he's literally nothing but trash. But if he was still human with the power of a devil, then he would be pretty high tier for a human. And that's well, barely given those of the stray exorcist, and also the exorcist of the Vatican." With saying, "You're not wrong there. And honestly, Issei, besides Akano and Issei, and also Konako holding themselves back, no way Rias is going to be able to win that rating game. Not one bit, unless we help them. Issei, we need to save Issei for later. Right now, I need to go help out Konako." Saying, "All right, good luck with that, master." Saying, "Of course. And if you feel any tensed or annoyed, then no." You're saying, "Damn it, you're no fun." Saying, "Not trying to be." With soon, as days go by, even with Shirou being that of a taskmaster when it comes to training and everything else, everybody loves his cooking though, given that he is a master when it comes to cooking. Even Rias and Akano alongside, Asya, all want to help out Shirou, but when it comes to cooking, it's either he cooks himself or Raynare helps him cook. Simple as that. At first, everybody was really hesitant on having Raynare cook alongside Shirou. However, as long as Shirou was the one mainly in charge of cooking, they weren't too, well, worried about Raynare. But even so, when it comes to Shirou's cooking, either making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they always have energy to fight, to always go back for training, no matter how much it's hell it feels like. With soon, the next day, Shirou begins training of Konako, as their training was just basically helping her improve her, well, reaction time speed. She may be a rook, and she may be able to take damage and hits, but it isn't a smart idea to always take hits. You gotta learn how to dodge some hits and take some hits. It's good to take small hits, but heavy hits she needs to learn on how to dodge, which Shirou is trying to drill into her head with that of close quarters combat, trying to hit while giving Shirou that of small tiny hits of kicks, punches, and that of grabs. When it comes to dealing powerful blows while using that of either a sword, staff, dagger, he's trying to teach her to dodge certain hits like that instead of tanking them. However, there's something, even with her size, he can tell that she is quite fast, down the level of a Nike kind of fast, but close to it. Not only that, her senses and spatial awareness continue to improve each time they continue sparring for the day, which really catches Shirou off guard. With soon, as Konako was about to deal that of a powerful punch to Shirou's chest, Shirou dodges it. However, doing so sends that of a small shockwave from her fist, with Shirou seeing this, saying, "This isn't mana. It's close to it, but it's not. It feels like ki." Then soon, Shirou creates that of Bakia and puts the blade near Shirou's throat, with soon saying, "Well, that was a close one, but you would still die." With then Konako saying, "Damn it," saying, "Don't be beating yourself up about it, Konako. You were able to overcome it, and able to counter my attacks each time. Figure out which one is a weak punch and a weak kick, and which one's a powerful one. Your spatial awareness and danger sensing is starting to improve a lot. Makes me think that you're actually kind of a cat." With then soon saying that, Konako actually begins shaking before stepping back, saying, "Konako, you okay?" Saying, please don't say that." Saying, "What? I mean, every time I give you head pats, you always purr. So at first I thought it was kind of cute. But as we fight, please, just let it go. Just don't bring it up." Saying, Konako would saying, "So, I was right on the money. She is suppressing something just like, well, Akeno." With then saying, "Konako, if there's something that you don't feel like talking about, I understand. However, if it helps you get something off your chest, you can tell me, right? You said you saw me as an older brother. Is that true? Were you telling the truth?" With then Konako looks at Shirou saying, "I do. I just, what if I tell you that Ria's peerage was one of the first peerage I was part of?" With soon Shirou saying, "I see. Good thing Konako's way more open to talk instead of Akeno." So, continue. As Konako begins explaining her past with with her, older sister, being Kuroka. The two are actually that of a devil and yokai race, mixed breed species known as Nakamata, or rather Nekushou. Because Nekushou are a lot more sensitive and have a brand of Tuki, which is manipulating their ki, known as Senjutsu, which takes the emotions of our opponents or nearby emotions and add them to our own strength, improving ourselves to become faster, stronger, and a lot more durable in battle. However, her sister, who was the bishop for a previous peerage, went berserk with power and ended up killing their master. Because of that, Shirou was blamed for her sister's crimes and was almost sent to be executed. But if it wasn't for Sir Zetch's Lucifer and saving her and then her being part of Reese's peerage, she would have never been free, never have a new family, and possibly never met Shirou. Within hearing this, Shirou was completely caught off guard by her past, completely honest on how she feels and why she doesn't want to use her full strength. With soon, Konako begins tearing up, saying, "Please, senpai, please don't make me become my big sister. I know that this is for President Rias, but I just can't. I don't want to lose a new family and turn into her." With then Shirou placing his hand on her head, with then bringing her in for a hug, saying, "You're nothing like your sister. Not one bit. You're far from it. I don't know much about devil hierarchy, but I am aware that not every king is similar to that of Rias. And some are like Riser. So maybe, just maybe, we don't know the full story of things, but you need to decide on what you want for your life. Either you want to continue suppressing who you truly are, suppressing your true strength. That's up to you. But if you want to find a way to awaken your true strength, accept who you truly are, and finally become strong enough to not just protect Rias, but protect your new family, then you'll be who you are. But the best way to do that is do things slowly, step by step, with those that you feel like you can trust, those who want to help you, and those who want to make sure that you don't follow the same path as your sister. As long as you can open up to them, like you did to me today. But then seeing this, the dam on Konako's tears began to come out as Konako, or rather Shirou, finally tries to accept herself, as long as somebody that stays with her, somebody that's willing to be by her side to help her accept her true strength. With then, Shirou couldn't help but smile, as part of him thinks that maybe being an older brother again wouldn't be so hard. I just hope maybe Ilya won't be jealous, or rather, I hope she's accepting of having another younger sibling. With then the days to continue going by, with Shirou heading to that of the bathhouse, with Shirou still surprising that Rias, even though she's a high-class devil and her family is being that of high-class nobles as well, being part of the 72 pillar houses, you still can't get over the huge ass bathhouse that they have. With soon he sees that Kiba and Issei are already in the bathhouse, And Issei, well, back to his perverted antics as always, as every time that they come to the bathhouse, Issei's been trying to have a peek at the girls no matter what, even giving Konako's, well, outbursts and preventions of him trying to see a peek at all. As for Shirou, he's ever since that last outburst of Shirou kicking the shit out of Issei, he's made sure not to do it in front of Shirou, which when he found out that he was there, he soon just went back. He just went back into the bath, let his head down, and basically keep an eye from the tan-skinned, white-haired teen. With soon Shirou internally thinking, yeah, that's what I thought. With soon thinking also, Issei, how's the training going? With soon Issei basically flinching, saying, are you trying to torture the hell out of me? Or is she? Well, she is a bit of a she does have a bit of a dominatrix personality. So she does know how, so she may be enjoying dominating your ass. With Soon saying, seriously? But I did tell her to continue holding back on killing you. So at least your body is developing an immunity to dealing tons of hits, right? Saying, screw you, man. You say that I still have much more, that my main power is still being dormant. So why? That's your problem, not ours. You need to figure out a way to bring it out. You need to bring something out. I can tell you've gotten over your, obsession over seeing boobs. Isn't that right, Hayato? With soon Issei basically just saying, yeah, somewhat. Saying, then you just need to figure out some way to awaken your sacred gear from its dormant state to its true form. So figure it out somehow. Saying, yeah, I get it. Within the first week of, the training camp comes to an end. With everybody now developing new techniques and new ways to use their magic and form. And wait, as for Rias, she's figuring out ways to use her magic more sparingly, given Shirou's, advice. Instead of just using her attacks in that a powerful burst, focus more on control her magic through that of small shots, willing away her enemies' defenses slowly also keeping her magic reserves in check as well. Not only that, the hand-to-hand combat was also a good way for her to control her magic through her fighting style. So she wouldn't be wasting it, and she won't be able to, and also be able to deal damage with her power destruction without wasting her magic at all. However, last but not least, Issei. Issei is the one thing that's holding everybody back. And because of this, Shirou has basically had enough and decides to put an end to this bastard being the weak link of Rias's peerage. With soon, he sees Raynare, saying, Raynare, we need to talk. With then, Raynare basically having that of a glint in her eyes. The next day, everybody is preparing for training, saying, all right, everyone, you're doing quite well with your self-training. Some of you have improved quite a bit, looking at Konako and also looking at Kiba. Some of you have also improved, but not to the levels I wanted, looking at Rias and Akano. And some of you have done the best that they can and have reached the potentials that I expected. Looking at Asuya, who was actually able to get the handle of the Magecraft of Enhancement Magic. So yeah, however, one of you has basically done nothing to improve whatsoever and is starting to truly piss me off. with looking at the brunette-haired boy Issei, saying, "Come on, man, you're not even doing anything. You're just allowing your damn fallen angel's girlfriend, servant, to basically kick my ass." But saying, "Yes, she is kicking your ass because you let her kick your ass." With soon, everybody is caught off guard by that. With then Rhea saying, "What do you mean, Shirou? He has no... Some of you have some combat experience. Rias, you suck at close quarters combat, but you were able to get the handle of it because of your old martial arts combat when you were a kid. Akeno, you suck at close range combat as well. However, with your magic and new ways to use your imagination with your lightning magic, you're able to suppress close quarters combat foes." With Akeno actually having that of a smile. Well, a genuine smile for once instead of her usual fake one. Kiba, you being a knight means that you're good at close quarters combat. However, you've already figured out ways to not just counter that of deadlocks and that of other people's fighting styles, but you've also countered ways for people to use long range magic against you as well, which I'm impressed. With then, Kiba couldn't help but smile too, saying, "Thank you, Shirou-kun." With then looking at Akeno, Konako, you've also truly excelled a lot. You're not to the levels that I expect you to be at just yet, but you've improved quite a bit from your rook strength that you only relied on. That's quite immense in your training. Saying, "Thank you, senpai." Within secretly saying, "Thank you, big brother." And as for you, Asya, I didn't want you to go into combat fighting and just wanted you to focus on defending yourself. And you've done that quite well. Already gotten the feel of reinforcement magic quite a bit to defend yourself. And if you like, I can also teach you on how to conduct that to objects, even to people if you want. Saying, "That would be great, Shiro-sama. I really appreciate that as much." Saying, "Seriously?" But you are literally the weakest person here. And no, it's not because you're a pawn. Rias told me that pawns are able to promote themselves, able to take on the power and defense of a rook, the speed and agility of a knight, and the magical power of a bishop, even all three once becoming a queen. And yet, you haven't done any of that or reached that level. I'm starting to think that the sacred gear that you have is what you have. And whatever this suppressed power is basically a load of rubbish. But I'm willing to give it a second chance by basically putting you in a death match with not just Raynare, but with me as well." With then, everybody was caught off guard, with Issei being that of fear and terror on his face, saying, "Whoa now, we can talk about this." Saying, "Nope." With then Rias saying, "Shirou, please, you don't?" This needs to happen, Rias. If he doesn't improve, his training is going to be pointless. And all of you are the ones who are needed most than him. With soon Raynare saying, "Well, it's what the master wants. And if he wants this kid to die, it's either sink or swim. So it has to happen." With then Konako saying, "Please, senpai, you don't have to." Saying, "And you're the one defending him, Konako. Can I ask why?" Saying, with then Akeno saying, "This isn't funny, Shirou. You don't need to, and I do. Simple as that." As he soon snaps his fingers, a bounded field was put up between Shirou, Raynare, and Issei. With then keeping out everyone else, is saying, "And don't bother trying to break it. This bounded field is a lot more stronger than the one I the one I make at home, to make sure none of you break out of this one. So now, with soon bringing out Bakuya and Kenshiro, within Raynare preparing elite double light spears, within Issei saying, you can't be, saying, within Shirou saying, prepare yourself, Issei Hayato, because here we come. With soon, the two of them begin rushing at Issei as Issei prepares his boosted gear, as he dodges one attack from Raynare. However, another attack from Issei happens. As he tries blocking the strike, it soon cuts into his sacred gear, as he soon felt that pain coming through his arm, with soon being sent flying onto the ground, as Raynare soon begins trying to stab him repeatedly with her reddish light spears. However, Issei continues rolling and rolling and rolling before being kicked by Raynare in the gut, sent into the bounded field edge, with soon landing on the ground in the face first, with then saying, "Please stop, I'm begging you." With then Shirou already close, as then he continues striking at Issei, as Issei continues blocking each attack with his twice critical, as he's getting completely overwhelmed over and over, knocking into the back, saying, "Come on, Hayato, come on, Issei, show me what you have. Awaken that true strength. Was everything that Ria's done for you, all the kindness that she's shown you, everything that she's done, was it meaningless? Is it pointless? Show me!" With then Issei saying, "Shut up! Just shut the hell up! You want me to show you my strength? I'll show you, damn it!" With then the twice critical begins to glow a bright green light, with soon it begins turning red, as then twice critical begins engulfing the entirety of Issei's arm, as the gauntlet turns more big and also becomes more sharp on the edges, before the green gem is now on the backhand of Issei's hand, with then their dragon-like claws began coming out of Issei's fingertips, with soon Issei has that of a pharaoh grin, with he plans on dealing a powerful punch from his left hand to Shirou, with then Shirou blocking the attack with Bakuya and Kenshiro, as he's soon sent flying. However, both his signature Noble Phantasm swords break instantly, with saying, "Well, I'll be damned." With then Issei has pure anger and begins rushing at Shirou with pure rage on his face. With then Raynare was about to strike at Issei. However, Shirou basically raises a hand up, stopping Raynare, as Raynare was completely caught off guard, wondering, "What the hell, master? Why are you?" With then Shirou creates his Sakura Blossom shield, with then Issei unable to break the shield. However, each time from the red gauntlet, it begins cracking, saying, "Perfect." With soon he brings out the palm end of one of his regular blades, with then jabs it in Issei's gut, knocking the wind out of his gut, out of his body, as he soon slumps down on the ground, with then releasing the bounded field, but saying, "Ria, it looks like he's finally awakened, Rias." With then Rias saying, "Issei, Shirou, you," look at his left hand, As soon everybody looks at the left hand of Issei as she's saying, but it can't be. But that's with Raynare saying, that's the gauntlet of the Red Dragon Emperor, a Longinus sacred gear. So that means, with then Kiba saying, Issei's the Red Dragon Emperor. That means he truly did have immense power. It was just dormant for so long that it didn't really awaken. With then Shirou saying, and you're welcome. Asya, please heal the pervert. Saying, oh, of course. With then Ria saying, Shirou, part of me wants to thank you this much, but the other part of me wants to actually strangle you for almost hurting Issei and killing him. Saying, I wasn't really trying to kill him. If I did, he would have been dead months ago, to be honest. With then soon Akeno couldn't help but laugh, saying, my, Shirokun, you have quite the sadistic personality. You're holding yourself back to the point just so Issei could actually awaken his true strength. That is quite something. Saying, don't expect it too much. Now that Issei has finally awakened his Longinus sacred gear, his training now truly begins. I want you all to help him improve. Show him on what it means to be a devil pawn of a peerage. I'll still help you all out, but until then, help Issei. So we still have at least a month and a half to show, a week and a half until the raiding game begins. With then everybody nodding. But then Rias couldn't help but smile at Shirou with everything that he's done to help, even if his methods are pretty brutal. As the week goes by, Shirou continues helping out everyone else, with Raynare acting as that of a sparring partner for everyone, as helping out Kiba in that of true combat, while facing somebody with that of spears and that of holy energy, since she's still a fallen angel, even with the corrupted holy light. Helping out Konako, fighting as well, with she now improving her senjutsu, even though it's not at a high level. She's only accessing a small portion of it to help her improve, and especially her reflexes and her already immense rook strength. As for Akeno, she's really trying to torture the hell out of Raynare with her new lightning abilities and techniques and everything that she got the ideas from Shirou. And let's just say it's not one-sided, but it's totally not a total beatdown on the other hand. Let's just say both girls have turned, instead of them actually trying to fight for once, it just turned into a senseless cat fight with the two clawing at each other to the point that their clothes getting ripped off. With soon Shirou having to step in. And let's just say Issei was jealous as hell, even though he was also pissed that Shirou stepped in too at the same time. As for Rias, he's helping her develop strategies to improve for the raiding game. Also seeing the footage of Riser's past raiding games, which leads to a certain something. With then Rias saying, so what about here? Saying, if you take a small team as a vantage point, it will work. However, knowing Riser's queen, they would use that as a chance to deal as much damage. Sure, he'll lose pawns, he'll lose pieces of his peerage, but he'll still deal more damage to us, given that we have less members than him. With then Rias saying, I see. Then also seeing that Kiba and Konako know each other quite well, having them stick together is the perfect opportunity. But keep having Konako stay with Issei is a good way to keep him in check. I know he's gotten better in combat, especially fighting. I even hear that Asuya has been helping him develop his own magic as well. I don't know what it is, and part of me doesn't want to. With soon, Rias couldn't help but laugh, saying, I could see what you mean. With then, soon, Shirou saying, so, how about this? Once the raiding game begins, Issei and Konako stick together. Konako would be more in charge of the main assault team. Also, I'll help out Kiba as that of a support and keeping him safe from behind. As for Akeno, let's keep her on standby to deal damage. Once Riser's Queen comes out, she'll be the one to keep her busy. If she can defeat her, that's all the more better. As for you and Asuya, stay with each other. Also, if we are able to take out Riser and more of his pieces, then he's most likely going to try and taunt you. You have to make sure you don't fall into it. If that happens, radio us. Tell us in to stay on standby and come in to help you once things get overwhelmed for you. So, please, remember to radio us in and don't do things on your own, because you won't be just dragging yourself into this. You'll also drag Asuya into this as well, seeing that she's the only one that can heal you and us. With then, soon Ria saying, you're right. You're absolutely right, Shirou. I'm surprised you were able to figure all of this out so effortlessly. With soon Shirou saying, I had quite a bit of people who taught me a bit of strategy, and I've seen one person who's become quite the amazing leader. If anything, if he was still here, he would most likely be my age right now. Saying, your age? Was he younger? Saying, no, not really. But to be fair, he was the same. You could say he was the same age as me. Just he was a lot more naive. You could say he was more like even though we were the same age, he was like a younger brother. With then Ria saying, I see. Where was he? Where is he now? With saying, he's long gone. I'll never be able to see him again, actually. With then Rias began thinking, I'm Shirou, it's alright. There are many people, besides taking a lot of lives, there are a lot of people in my life who also died as well. A lot of good people too. Part of me feels like I'll meet them again, but every time when I feel like I'm about to die, feel like I'm about to reach my end, like this is going to be the last battle for me, I always find a way to survive. I always found a way to go back to the battlefield. That's just how it's been for me, no matter what. With then, Rias couldn't help but cling on to Shirou, saying, Rias, there are a lot of people. I never know what it's like to feel like fighting for your life, what it's like to kill somebody for real. I have no qualms with killing those who hurt my family, who hurt my friends, and who tried to hurt my territory and the subjects in it as well. But I don't know what it's like to lose a family member, what it's like to lose those close to you. Shirou, when this is all over, you sure you don't want to stay in my peerage? I mean, I understand that you want to stay human, and it's your choice, but I get it. You know, just because I'm not part of your peerage doesn't mean we're not close, Rias. And it doesn't mean we're not family either. But Rias actually blushing, saying, we're not? Of course. After these 10 days, I think I feel like I'm getting closer with everybody. I could tell that Akano and Kaneko have their secrets. Kiba, on the other hand, I can tell he has his reasons on why he believes in the way of knightlyship. But I won't pry on that because I know a certain other few who have the way of the knights drilled into their heads as well. Especially a certain woman in my life. With then, soon, Ria saying, woman, huh? So, is there, saying, no, there isn't. There's no one else in my life who I have feelings for. You may not love Riser, but that doesn't mean that there isn't somebody out there who loves you, Rias. With then Rias saying, Shirou, you know, besides Issei, who sees me as his king, and Kiba, who's truly loyal to me, you're the first person that just sees me for me. Saying, and you just finally realize that now? With then Rias saying, oh, you jerk. It's just all the guys that I've met, even if we defeat Riser, even if we end up winning, I still have to deal with other suitors, other people proposing to me. They'll just see me as Rias Grimmery as always. With then Shirou saying, I'm just gonna stop you right there, Rias. Even if other guys keep asking for your hand in marriage, and even if your family keeps making more and more arranged marriages, it's all gonna be the same. We're still gonna save you. We're still gonna help you. And I'm still gonna be there by your side, always. With then Rias saying, Shirou, with soon her piercing blue eyes look into Shirou's silver eyes, as then she was getting closer and closer to the tan-skinned, white-haired teen. But soon she was saying, I think that's enough. I think we've studied quite a bit. The mood is starting to get a little bit, weird. With then Rias began blushing, saying, yeah, you're right. Also, I still need to reincarnate. Tomorrow's the last day, so I need to make sure to reincarnate you tonight before we leave for the training, for the rating game tomorrow. Saying, yeah, that's right. Soon saying, I have here, this is my last night piece. So, I wish, didn't you say that you planned on giving me a rook piece instead? I did. However, after seeing you train with Kiba and also improve everyone else with your swordsmanship, I realized a knight piece is better. Would that also mess up my archery? Saying, actually, I've never actually seen a piece of a peerage never really use a bow. It's always just swords. They never even use spears. With soon, Shirou saying, really? God, that's so stupid. You can't just restrict yourself to one type of weapon. If you were good with using another weapon, you shouldn't just use another spear. You should be able to use another weapon that also deals with quick strikes. A spear is just as good. Even a dagger or short swords too. With then soon Rias saying, you've actually opened my eyes a little bit more, Shirou. With soon Shirou saying, glad I could help as much as I can. With then soon saying, okay, Shirou Emiya, I, Rias Grimmery, would want you to be part of my peerage. On this day, for here on out, will you live for me? Will you live for my peerage and listen to all my orders, no matter what? With soon, Shirou saying, I do, and I will. With then, she places the night piece into Shirou as once it's part of Shirou, part of him feels like it's taking over his entire being and entire body, while the other half is basically merging with his essence of a heroic spirit, even his connection to the Grail. With then saying, so this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to be a devil. With then soon saying, so with, I got it. I now understand. With soon Ria saying, so you do know now that you are part of my peerage, you can't leave, right? Saying, possibly, if it wasn't for this little tool. With then he brings out the palm of his hand, saying, I am the bone of my sword. Trace on. With soon a purple dagger, which the blade looks like that of a lightning bolt, and as it's all crooked, is in Shirou's hands. With soon Rias is completely caught off guard seeing the dagger, saying, wait, is that what I think it is? Saying, yep, it's the dagger. It's Rule Breaker, the dagger that was created by, Medea, the Witch of Betrayal, just as the same staff that I made for Akeno to help her improve her magic use and skills. I also have Medea's greatest weapon of all time, the dagger that can basically break any kind of magic, even magical contracts and other types of magic as well, such as reincarnation magic too. With then, Rias was completely caught off guard, saying, so even if I tricked you into becoming a devil, I would have been able to get out of your peerage either way, easily, without even breaking a sweat, or without even becoming a stray devil. So, yeah. Within Rias saying, you really are something, Shirou. Saying, yeah, I get that a lot. But even so, if you need me in your peerage for a rating game or to support you, then I'm here for you. I'll still go back to being a human, but I'm always here for you. After all, it's what a hero of justice would do. Then Ria saying, you're a real dork, you know that? I also get that a lot too. But soon, Rias, without warning, hugged Shirou closely, saying, thank you for being here, Shirou. Saying, anytime, Rias. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to read them. Also, how did you like the training arc? I might have blown through it a lot more quicker than I normally should, but to be honest, I feel like Shirou just needs them to basically get over their issues, at least try to accept one aspect of their issues without having to accept the other, while helping Kaneko accept herself, and at least giving Akeno some rules of thought of trying to open up to Shirou and possibly the others of Rias' peerage. And not only that, again, you could say that I was basically enjoying the fact of Issei constantly getting his ass kicked by Raynare and also Shirou. But again, Issei is literally the weakest protagonist ever in the beginning. He's way weaker than any other protagonist I've ever seen in any other anime or game whatsoever. That's why he relies so much on plot armor that he gets gets to where he is. And in this fanfic, Issei has no goddamn plot armor. So he has to work his ass off to get to where he is. That even means getting his ass kicked constantly. And that's gonna keep on happening, no matter what. So yeah, and you could say it's Issei hate, because it is. And I don't give a damn. So yeah, also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my main channel, and my Patreon. All linked in description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, and I hope you all take care.